at the government level. The U.S. government has stopped approving licenses for American firms to export most items to Chinese technology giant Huawei, according to reports. It comes as the Biden administration continues to tighten its rules on exports of U.S. technology to China. Washington has previously accused Huawei of being a threat to the U.S. national security and of working with the Chinese Communist Party. The company and the Chinese government have repeatedly denied the allegations. The U.S. Commerce Department has told some American firms that it would no longer issue licenses for U.S. technology exports to Huawei, according to the Financial Times, which first reported the story. In New Zealand, a precautionary state of emergency has been declared in the country's most northern region as parts of the country prepare for more extreme weather. Emergency service personnel in Northland are warning the area could see unprecedented levels of rain over today into Wednesday. The warnings come after the city of Auckland was hit hard by flooding on Friday. 4 people were killed and thousands of homes have been damaged. There are concerns that further heavy rainfall forecast for today could cause even more destruction to the city due to blocked stormwater drains. In the Middle East, the death toll has risen to 92 people after a mosque suicide bombing which targeted policemen in the city of Peshawar in Pakistan happened yesterday. The mosque is within a high-security police headquarters area, and a probe is underway into how the bomb got in. Pakistan's Prime Minister and other leaders have condemned Monday's attack, one of the worst in the country in the recent years. The Pakistani Taliban has denied involvement after an initial claim by one of its commanders. Today, rescuers scrambled to retrieve worshippers buried in the rubble, pulling out 9 people alive but recovering a further 24 bodies. No one remained trapped, according to local officials. U.S. President Joe Biden has ruled out sending F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine, despite renewed calls from Ukrainian officials for air support. Asked by a reporter yesterday if the U.S. would be providing the planes, Mr. Biden replied simply no. His comment comes a day after Germany's leader also ruled out sending fighter jets. Ukraine has said it needs the jets to take control of its airspace in its going war with Russia. F-16 Fighting Falcons are widely considered one of the world's most reliable fighter jets and are used by other countries such as Belgium and Pakistan. In the United States, 3 Memphis Fire Department workers have been fired amid an investigation into a motorist's death that shocked the United States. Officials said 2 paramedics and a driver who responded to the scene did not provide Mr. Nichols adequate care. He was punched, kicked, and hit with a baton after being pulled over for an alleged traffic violation. 5 policemen were fired and charged with murder. It emerged yesterday 2 others have been suspended. Memphis officials say the 3 sacked fire department workers, Robert Long, Jamichael Sandridge, and Lieutenant Michelle Whitaker, had failed to conduct an adequate patient assessment of Mr. Nichols. In the United Kingdom, the economy will shrink and perform worse than other advanced economies as the cost of living continues to hit households, according to the International Monetary Fund. The IMF said the economy will contract by 0.6% in 2023 rather than grow slightly as previously predicted. However, the IMF also said that after the autumn statement, it thinks the UK economy is now on the right track. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt said the UK outperformed many forecasts last year. In its World Economic Outlook update, the IMF, which works to stabilize economic growth, said the UK's gross domestic product GDP would shrink rather than grow by 0.3% this year. Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro has applied for a 6-month U.S. tourist visa, according to his lawyer. Mr. Bolsonaro has been staying in Florida since 30th December. The former president plans to stay in the U.S. while immigration officials process the visa. He is under investigation in Brazil after rioters stormed key government buildings early this month. Mr. Bolsonaro has voiced regret for the unrest but denies he caused it. And finally, Congressman James Comer, the new Republican chair of House Oversight Committee, said yesterday that influence peddling by President Joe Biden's family would be a top investigatory priority for him, starting with public hearings next week. The president and his family have denied any wrongdoing in overseas business dealings. Donald Trump's children have also been accused of conflict of interest in lucrative business deals overseas. Mr. Comer has said yesterday that the Trump administration had a problem with influence peddling, mentioning Mr. Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner specifically. Mr. Kushner has also denied any wrongdoing. Investigations into Joe Biden's personal finances, including the international business dealings of his son Hunter Biden, are just one item on the ambitious agenda Mr. Comer has set out over the recent weeks. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's news in brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you that we are still helping the people of Karamoja. Please join us by sending your seed to the numbers that will be available during the services. Alternatively, you can bring your service to the Miracle Center Cathedral during the revival services that are happening every evening. In these services, we are having dream interpretation, we are having deliverance sessions, we are having healing of the sick, and very many other things the Holy Spirit is doing in our midst. You do not want to miss. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is coming up next with the Marriage Now program that is aimed at helping us, married, single people, and everyone continue in our day-to-day life successfully. God bless you and enjoy your afternoon.